everybody, good morning and welcome to ABB FIA Formula E and the second practice session coming to you here from London as well. This is it then, round 15 and 16 of the championship, the season finale. 4 drivers come here with the chance to be the world champion. We've adjusted the green screen, so this behind me is still a green screen, but you can't tell it's green screen anymore. That's how good it is now as well. We've got the lights on as well, and we're in a different commentary box area as well compared to yesterday. We have, however, got information that nobody did want to see, and that is wet track. Now, it does matter because this circuit is both inside and outside, so having a wet track is not great news overall. So we're going to be experiencing those differences across today. But let me know if the track noise is okay and our mics are okay, because obviously we're using different stuff, so I'm not always 100% knowledgeable with it all, because we hear very deadened in these earphones ourselves and everything else. Track temperature 18 degrees, humidity at 85, a 10% chance of rain. Track though temperature is at 28 degrees, and I'm looking up at the monitor up here. We're not actually in the main commentary box as well. The green light goes on and we are underway then for the session. Omi's just put in the YouTube chat, by the way, the F3 no points thing is terrible. Nice waste of our time. Well, it was indeed a massive waste of our time, our effort and everything, just for absolutely nothing to happen. Basically, if you didn't know, if you weren't joining us a few moments ago for FIA Formula 3, what happened was that we only completed 1.5 laps under green flag conditions. Sadly, it means that we are not fully qualified to go in and use the full system as well. So it's very annoying. It's incredibly annoying, to be fair, that we haven't been allowed to take that control. And that means Calculator also didn't score any points for that fantastic race win he's just got. So I'm not really a fan of that. I hope they change that rule back to what it was, because it doesn't work, and it didn't work beforehand either. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. Apparently I've lost internet connection, which is fantastic news, because the Channel 4 live timing system has gone down. So we're just having to rely on what we can see out on the driver tracker. As you can see, they've all headed out there on the circuit. Okay, my fire stick has completely gone kaput. That's what you're hearing in the background there. Home screen currently unavailable. Please go to network settings. It chooses the worst moment to go down, doesn't it? It's come back now, so hopefully that'll be something. But it does choose the worst moment in history to go down anyway. Cole says, I did. Well, it made up for me not having a podcast last week in Hungary and the F3, F2 practice. You guys are my favorite. Thank you very much, Cole, as well. We're not actually in the main commentary box as well. This is green screen technology. For instance, if I turn it off, you'll see. It's just a little fun thing I'd like to see here, if I can find where the camera is. Oh, hang on a minute, not on driver tracker setting. That's why. Where is the image? There we go. So, bang. See? Look, it's a green screen. Now, technically, I'm commentating nothing, but it just looks weird if I'm commentating like this, doesn't it? Actually, not so bad, but to make it mean thing, we keep the green screen image on in the background. So it is somewhat normal, somewhat the same, so it's not too bad in the overall basis of things. But they are out on the circuit, just getting going again. Race Control has declared it a wet track, but they are getting a little bit cleaner. Van Dorn, I think, is going to set the first overall lap time in this session. Yes, all good then. So it's a fake green screen, because the real commentary box, that's going to be used in around about 14 minutes time for the start of the Formula 1 session, and Megan Birch is going to come in here, replace me, and go on forward as well. As we've got our TV pictures back, which is great news. We're on board with Jake Dennis, who has got a great chance at wrapping up the title in this first race weekend of the season, which is always going to be good news. Just have to the live chat, because that's causing some issues. Dear. You'd think that it would be okay and it would actually be behaving itself, but it never does. So yeah, Jake Dennis has a chance to wrap up the title here. He needs a race win to be more points ahead than anybody else. It could happen. Most likely won't happen though today. Everybody is predicting it could go down to tomorrow. If we do get a race win today, that would be, well, it'd be brilliant. It'd be fantastic, but it is a little bit unusual. As Dennis slows down, ready to do a full-on lap. So to camera, Verline, Bird, Rast, Boemi, the top 5. Then we get Da Costa, Degrassi, Hughes, Verne, Gunther, Mortara, Lotterer, Muller, Cassidy, Van Dorn, NATO, Mary, Evans, Fenestraz, Tictum, Frines and Dennis. They're all taking over there. Cassidy's got the fastest first sector time. Well, personal best first sector. It's purple sector 2 as he comes up into the XL centre, up the ramp as well at turn 18 to 19 as well. And the last corner, turn 19 to 22, swoops in on the inside line. Omi says, rain looks terrible at Formula 1. It is. Rain is terrible at Formula 1. We've just had a look at it, actually. It does look really, really bad. As we see Cassidy's gone top, a 119.031. Gunther, 119.391. So there's 0.360, so 360 between them as well. So there's a little bit of difference there that they need to work on and get just right, and then it'll be all thumbs up. Bird has gone fastest now, 118.534. Sete Cameron, Tictum all looking a bit stronger, but here's Cassidy. It's a wet track, so obviously if you're new to Formula E and you're joining us for the last race of the season, we don't change tyres. There's no need because it's an all-weather tyre. So we're good in the dry, we're good in the wet conditions, and that's pretty much how we've been seeing this season take place. So they're good in all conditions, which is a nicety. But Cassidy's fastest in the middle sector through the new sweep, which basically means we've got 2 sections of the track underneath the XL centre due to work being done. We now loop back in after the attack mode underneath one section, then go back outside and come back inside as well. So it's a real nice atmosphere now to have 2 segments of the track, both inside and out. The start line, of course, inside the XL centre. Cassidy goes top with a 117.158. There's real doubt whether Formula One's sprint session will happen, the qualifying coming up. There's real doubt over the rest of the day. The rain really has sort of arrived with a punch, so we'll get to see it all adjusting soon. Please do let us know, by the way, if you can hear me over the track noise in the background. When Megan gets here, she'll take you through the order, and then she'll probably hand over to Tom Brooks in the commentary box. We've lost TV pictures again as Cassidy goes through. No, they'll come back. They'll behave themselves. Bird, Cassidy, NATO, Van Dorn going up there. Jake Dennis taking the top honours now with a 116.615. There's James Barkley, the Jaguar TCS Racing team principal. He's just watching along. Now we've got a replay of Robin Frines in the Apt Cooper now. Just coming out of turn 11 and 12 and having a bit of a snap. And he's locked up actually going into turn 11 to 13. He's that tricky chicane section before the hairpin. At attack mode, I believe that is. Looking at it, just looking for things on the track. It might be down to turn 10 actually. That tricky section of the circuit. There's Thomas Bermanama, the Apt Cooper team principal, watching on. So very crucial championship. Megan's just walked into the side of the box. You've got until 10:42. So you've got 5 minutes from now before you need to take over from me. So go and have a quick something to eat, and then you can come and take me over. Yeah, bring it up, may as well. Yeah, it all works out in the end. As Evans is looking mighty good actually here. Fastest in the first sector and second sector. Evans is looking quite quick. It's purple sector 1, purple sector 2. I hope you can hear the track noise better than I can as they come across the line, because on-boards never really work as well as you all know. Evans flicks the car in, gets back on the accelerator. Is he quicker or is he not? Across the line then for Mitch Evans. Is he fastest? He is. It's a 1:15.587. Very good time across the board as we now take a look at the InVision. See which one it is coming into the braking zone. I think it's Sebastian Boemi. It is Sebastian Boemi. Past the train line as well. That goes to Central. And it's a fastest first sector time as well. And he's a 10th off in sector 2. 0.132 off the pace. So it needs to be a little bit better. Now, I've not had one camera breakup on my side of the screen, but I understand you're seeing me pixelating a little bit on the camera. I do apologise. We are working on getting a better camera for this little setup, but I think today is the best we've ever got it, really, with the green screen technology and everything. Buemi, third fastest then. It's a 1:15.931. So Cassidy, Evans, Buemi, Gunther, Degrassi. Let's hear from Buemi.
Keep pushing sectors 1 and 2. We'll be boxing. Practice attack 2.
So keep pushing sectors 1 and 2. We'll be boxing after the attack mode as well. So basically arm it and go through. Now we're looking at this new McLaren livery on Rene Rast's car as well. A livery that that has been designed by AI. It's an AI-inspired livery. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. I'm leaning back in my chair, by the way, now, if you're wondering why. It's sort of all thingy. If I stand up and lean back. But Rast, it's an AI livery celebrating the 60 years of McLaren in motorsport. It's sort of an explosion of colour. A black canvas base with the orange stripes, then the neon livery sort of literally exploding in colour. Looks absolutely fantastic. As across the line, Rast goes fourth, fastest third sector of all, but he's down by 0.528 of a second. Hughes goes eighth, but it's Cassidy, Evans, Bird, Rast. Cassidy now coming to the pit lane, actually, as we see new tyres going on. It's bone dry, of course, in the XL Centre, so they're bringing all the wet track in with them as well. So it dries, and then it's just slippery on entry. Really weird situation we've got going on here with the track. Dan Tickton, what's he done? Into turn 11 and... Well, let's just do turn 10, 11 and 12 and 13, so... Just running over the curbs a little bit too much. So, Cassidy, Evans, Bird, Rast, Gunther, top 5, Vern, Dennis, Hughes, Buemi. Then we get Tickton in 10th, Frines, Degrassi, Mortard. So that's the first half of the session pretty much done. Everyone's done their initial runs. Now we're going to see the qualifying simulation. So everyone's going to head out there on faster tyres and push for the run. Radar says the rain will kind of stop in the time for the sprint shootout. So we could see something like yesterday with a drying track. Ooh. Okay. That sounds very exciting to me. The plan, by the way, for today is that I will start qualifying. No, hang on, that is wrong. The plan for today is that I'll be here for practice 2. Megan will take you through the qualifying with the world feed being provided as well. So basically Megan will call all the laps, then she'll turn up the feed as well in between the gaps, a bit like I do. And we'll go from there. And we'll all be together for the first race later on today, and that'll also be live on YouTube. Roberto Mary down at turn 10, 11. Oh, Mary! Down at turn 10, locking up, going straight on, and almost hitting the inside barrier as well. Not a great part of the track to go out on as he comes back through. So it's Cassidy, Degrassi, Van Dorn, Evans, Vern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Megan's just walked into the side of the commentary box as well. Perfect timing, because I've now got to disappear. What have you got hold of? Megan has got some honey Greek yogurt she's got. But we're going to pass over now to the battle screen. And while we switch over, I'll hand you over to Tom Brooks.
Indoor land speed record taking place. He was up against Jake Hughes in a duel, and it looked as though Degrassi was going to do it because all of his practice runs were faster. He got a bit too much oversteer at the final corner, and as such he ended up about a kilometre an hour slower than Hughes, with Hughes ending up being the driver that claims that world record. Hughes was really happy about it, wasn't he? Very unexpected, I think. Really surprised about the fact that he did it, because I was stood next to him actually whilst he was talking to the team up here, and he's like, I'm not sure. Lucas is, talking the big game, and it looks like he's got, a lot of confidence. He's been scoping out and thinking too much. Jake just said, I just went around the final corner, floored the throttle, and saw what happened. Sometimes simple is best. Max Günther on board with him right now. I mean, at the start of the season, you just look, and that man in the middle, James Rossiter.
Right, so hello, Joshua is now on his way to the commentary box, and you're left with me, which I'm sure at least someone has internally groaned, because I internally groaned at this, because I feel like there's not going to be a lot of accidents. accidents, and who doesn't love an accident? Not a serious one. Just, you know, a spin into the wall, which causes a caution, or a yellow, whatever it's called. Good for team radio.
Not full wet, but not full dry.
Right. So, it's mixed conditions out there. Well, that's both good and bad, for then again, these tyres are okay for everything except for track and road. Right, I'm going to switch it back to the other commentators, so...
I was going to say greasy is the word I would use to describe that. It doesn't look particularly nice to drive on in terms of the grip levels. Verline goes to the top of the order, by the way, with just over 15 minutes remaining. René Rast in second, Edo Mortara in third. Track now beginning to dry out, lap times beginning to come down. We're now down into the 1:14.4s, but there's still, what's that, about 4 seconds or so off the pace that we had here yesterday. Looking in terms of the weather, don't think it's going to rain for the remainder of today, but there's certainly on the cards for tomorrow here.
I was about to get my phone out and check the app to see what the... It has been very changeable, hasn't it? I walking in this morning with that rain, I thought, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is...
That's Sergio's camera, isn't it? Precision. Yeah, it's spot on. That's about as close to the wall as you want to get, flirting with the edge of the track limits there.
The trick is to hitting the wall, because you've got to hit it square. If you hit it with a bit of angle, a bit of yaw in the car, that's what tends to break toe links or bend the suspension. If you actually hit it completely flat, sometimes you can get away with it.
That's your IndyCar experience going to the fore there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just generally lack of precision experience, I think. Tommaso Volpe there. He's going to be happy with what he saw yesterday.
Yeah, Nissan looking quite good actually here this weekend. Norman Nato quickest yesterday. Sasha Fenestraz just going to the top of the pile. Fenestraz, of course, in his rookie season. Norman Nato on the podium, though, last time out in Rome. That's his and Nissan's first podium of the 2023 season. They've had a tough campaign this year, but looking like they're heading down in the right direction as the season comes to its conclusion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's definitely looking good for them and preparing for next season. But again, we've seen even race to race, when all you can change is software and car setup, mechanical setup, how much we've seen the balance of power shift.
A few conversations going on here in the Andretti garage between Roger Griffiths and Michael Andretti. Penny for their thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, right now you see Jake Dennis 19th quickest. I wouldn't be too concerned. To me at this point, he's just gone quickest. There you go. It's more about the way the car feels. And are you happy that you can convert in qualifying next up? That's important. You see Buemi now, and every lap is just going to be quick. I mean, Buemi's 8/10 up the road with that lap, and because you can't, as we said, you can't read too much into lap times. Jake Dennis got a bit wide in turn 7. It sounded like somebody hit the wall there.
Yeah, I think it was just bottoming out on the car, coming down the slope almost.
Him or a car ahead having a little.
Yeah, just up the road, you've got one of the McLarens at the moment, and they're just making their way through turn 12 and 13. And now has a bit of clear air in front of them.
Jake Hughes ahead.
Yeah. This is a fantastic shot, actually. Just giving you an idea of just how bumpy it is on some parts of the circuits. So this is where attack mode is going to be activated here, Dario. This is where the track has been reprofiled. General sort of feedback after free practice. The drivers seeming to prefer the flow of the circuit in the final sector.
Yeah, it definitely flows better. It's got, I think 17 is going to have a potential for overtaking. Last year, it was a lovely series to drive, and you had to sort of hit the curve just right to flow the speed through. This looks maybe a more natural layout, shall we say, and I think, yeah, the drivers, if somebody takes attack mode, you're going to see some side-by-side stuff.
Cool this lap. It's purple second 2 and 3.
So call this lap then for Jake Dennis. That's just setting him to sort of go on a bit of a wind down, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, cool everything off, cool the tyres off. Let's see if we're going to go and have another one. Sam Bird made a mistake on one of his laps yesterday, got traffic on the other.
Nice to see Sam get a decent result. He got some traffic. Yeah. Just a bit of traffic with the Envision in the way. I think that might have been Buemi just up the road.
Sometimes you can't buy a break, and I think Sam's in that situation right now. It's just nice to see him have a good couple of results this weekend to end his season on a high.
Yeah, he has had a challenging 2023. Couple of run-ins with his teammate Mitch Evans. Really good qualifying pace though. We saw that in Rome last weekend, and then of course ending up in the wall in spectacular fashion, causing what was one of the biggest accidents in Formula E history.
Yeah, if not the biggest. And the incidents with Sam and Mitch, it was not malicious. It wasn't two teammates trying to prove that they're the team leader or whatever. Just mistakes. And I think we're seeing more and more of this type of mistake though, because the cars are running so closely together with this slipstream style racing that when the car in front brakes just a fraction harder than you thought they were going to, there's no margin for error. You just run into the back of them, and that's why I think we're seeing that. There's no time to react to a change in pace from the car in front that more than you were expecting.
Well, if you Sam Bird as well, it looks like he is going to be moving on to pastures new for next season of Formula E. What do you think is going to be going through his mind? Of course, he's got Mitch Evans third in the championship. Do you think he'll be thinking about playing that team game, or is he going to be sort of going and thinking more in a selfish manner?
I think if Sam can help Mitch, he definitely will. Yeah, I think that's the way he works, and I think he'll want to. Well, let's be honest, we think he's pretty sure he's leaving. He wants to leave on the best terms possible and help the team to have the best result they can, both in the drivers with Mitch and in the team's championship.
Yeah, word on the street that it's going to be Nick Cassidy going over to take the vacant seat for an all-New Zealand lineup at Jaguar for season 10. This is on board here with Jean-Eric Vergne just coming out of the final corner. Hand off the wheel as he comes to the timing line down in towards turn 1. And he's going to run straight on.
I was going to say I could watch his predicted right in the middle of the green bit, and it was getting better and better. I was like, oh, gained 2/10 on the braking zone. But he didn't make the corner. I had to have that taken off my car.
Yeah.
Because I'd get so excited when it was going the right way. So I literally never raced and never had a predicted on the dash.
Oliver Turvey, he's been a man who's sat on the sidelines for 2023. He'd love to get himself back into a race seat, but the thing is, there's a lot of drivers, not a lot of seats available.
Do you think he does, or do you think he's now maybe gone towards that team management role? Because he's perfect for it. The way his brain works, his organisational skills, all that stuff. I think he could be really, and has proved to be a bonus for the DS Penske team. But I think he'll maybe go more towards that direction. I might be wrong.
But you could see him doing a D'Ambrosio, for example, going from driver into team manager role.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think I think that's what he's probably doing.
Well, he spent several years, of course.
Right, I'm just going to read through who is currently, well, as far as I can get with where everyone is currently. Because, let's face it, that did not work out very well yesterday. Currently a green flag, 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. Evans is currently first with a 1:11.810. Second is Buemi. Nato is third. Ras fourth. Mortara is fifth. Dennis sixth. Lotterer is highest he's been all weekend and is in seventh. Degrassi eighth. Bird is ninth. Fenestraz is 10th. And it's currently in the pit. I'm only going to read up to 10 because that's all I'm going to get a chance to, aren't I? Currently in the pit are Buemi, Nato, Rast, Dennis, Fenestraz, Tictum, Hughes and Sepe Camera. I'm going to hand back over now to
Turn 16. This, of course, is where we'd normally see some fast runs coming in at the end of FP2. But what do you think the team's drivers, etc., are going to be doing now for the end of this session?
Every lap now, every time it's a bit bit drier. They're just learning more, and they're learning that on bigger portions of the track every lap. So there's bits that are not going to be fully dry, but you're going to have much more of an idea. And obviously in group qualifying, it's not just about one lap. You've got to do multiple laps, so you'll have a chance to warm up. And then obviously the duels, it's a whole different ball of wax. You turn up to 350 kilowatts and you got to go.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. Mitch Evans currently quickest there, and he's led for final free practice 4 times this season. Will he be able to make it a 5th time? He's just over half a second ahead. Here is the reigning champion, Stoffel Vandoorne. Speaking of drivers who haven't been able to particularly get their season going, Vandoorne, well, to say that a challenging 2023 would be a bit of an understatement. He's down in 11th in the championship standings and has failed to finish on the podium all season. So not the way he would have wanted his title defence to have gone.
No, absolutely. A lot of change over the winter for Stoffel, but it's just so competitive. You know, if you're just one slight step behind, you're nowhere. And we're talking about you having a challenging year. The difference in any racing between success and failure is absolutely minuscule.
Let's have a look at Sasha Fenestras. This is just going down towards turn 16. Well,
Oh, yeah, that was
10 points.
that could have been a lot worse from Fenestras there, just going slightly off around turn 16. Lucky he managed to catch himself before he went into the wall. That could have been a lot worse, and it could have actually caused a yellow, but thankfully it did not.
Also on to pastures new for season 10 as well.
I mean, Andre, factory Porsche driver in World Endurance Championship, and I think he'll focus on that next year. He's really had a tough season. He missed a couple of races, obviously, as well, due to the Le Mans test day. But I think he'll focus more on that. He's still absolutely world class. As speaking of world class, Nick Cassidy has just gone quickest of anybody.
Yeah, I was chatting down to Sam Smith, a journalist for the race earlier on, before we started free practice. And he said the thing is, Jake has done a lot of PR. Jake Dennis, this is, just looking at him in the garage, a lot of PR over the last couple of days. He said Nick Cassidy, rather, has done next to nothing. He seems just, within his demeanour, a lot more relaxed. Do you think that's going to help him coming into this stage?
No, you've got to, as a driver, be able to switch off. But the team's also got to protect the drivers and not just flog them to death with PR stuff and allow him to focus with his engineering on the job at hand. Remember, Nick Cassidy is multiple champion in Japan, Super Formula, Super GT, very difficult championship. So he knows how to win championships. He's been in this situation so many times before at a similar level to this. You've got to say, Jake, this is new to him, but I have continually every week been so impressed with him.
Makes him slightly ahead of sequence, but still current run plan. So out push, cool down 350.
You heard it all. I mean, the level of communication between team
That
and
was
drivers,
a
team in
radio
race.
message from Dennis.
It's quite incredible, isn't it? You have to, from what I can understand, be multitasking about 4 or 5 different things at once, essentially.
Well, absolutely, and that doesn't even go into pulling paddles on the steering wheel, at the bottom of the wheel that we can't see, with regen, changing settings all the time. It's just non-stop. Hear the car bottoming out. Through the kinks.
Just coming down in towards turn 16. This is where the attack mode will be activated in the race. Just getting his way through.
Listen when you're watching today at home. Listen to the noise changing of the motor. Look for subtle sort of almost misfires and subtle vibrations, and that's when all the clever systems are helping the drivers to stop wheel spin, to avoid locking wheels and braking.
Pascal Wehrlein, licensed to thrill at the top of his halo this weekend. And he goes to the top of the pile. What about Antonio Felix da Costa, his teammate? Goes 4th quickest. So Porsche's looking pretty handy here in the final stages of free practice 2. Active tyres there just being checked over. A few minutes left of this session. Only one driver in the pits at the moment, that's Jean-Eric Vergne. Here's his teammate Stoffel Vandoorne on a personal best lap. 6th quickest for Vandoorne. Would love to give himself
Looks like
the
Vergne's about to
Penske
come out
team
the pit lane, though.
something to smile about.
Wants to make
coming to
a
the
better
end of the
time,
season.
though.
He goes up to
Not sure whether he
4th fast. It's
can.
only free practice. Nick Cassidy looking like he's pretty handy here in the final stages of the sessions. We begin to expect a little bit of traffic in the form of Rene Rast just up the road. Cassidy still goes top by just over 0.3 of a second there for Nick Cassidy. So looking pretty handy here.
The first thing that all the any driver does is come and you look at the timesheet, and if you're Jake Dennis, Nick Cassidy, Mitch Evans, you're looking at those 2 other championship contenders as soon as you get in.
All about Sam Bird then here. He was...
missed the corner.
Yeah, just gone a little bit wide there, hasn't he, into 19. Cost him a little bit of time. 17th quickest for him. Despite that mistake, he goes up to 10. So that cost him a few tenths of a second there, actually.
Dan Ticktum, P2. 3 tenths back from Nick Cassidy, though.
Lovely stuff from Dan Ticktum.
James Barkley not looking too thrilled at the moment. He's a bit of pressure.
I can imagine that there is. Yeah, Jaguar, of course, with a fair bit of pressure, still within a chance of that team's championship.
Michael Andretti, he's dealt with pressure as team owner, driver. And he's been there, seen it, done it. Sylvain Philippe, he's been so impressive as team principal at Envision. And James Rossiter, he's had a baptism of fire, but he's dealt with it ever so well. Mid-season, I think he was thinking, what have I done?
Well, there's no grey hairs appearing on the top of his head just yet.
I think he might be dying at this point. Because, trust me, if there is, he's earned it.
Bit of the old just for men going on for James
all
Rossiter.
these team principals, Tommaso Volpi there. You see these guys, the board are putting pressure on them. They're going to the board saying, hey, we need more money to go faster. The board are saying, we need better results. And it's just like pressure on every single person in that pit.
Yeah, it seems like it's a constant sort of adaptation, doesn't it? And I suppose, is that a thing that as a customer team, when you don't have the pressure of a manufacturer on you?
It's a very good point. You don't have the pressure of the manufacturer, but you have the pressure of the sponsors, the investors. So everybody's got a boss, right? And these bosses want to win. And it's how you deal with that, how you sort of focus the troops.
Got a yellow flag out. That's down at turn 16. Double yellow flag, as a matter of fact. That's down where the attack zone is activated. We saw Sasha Fenestraz going a little bit sideways there earlier on.
There is a yellow flag
It might be quite a lengthy
out
accident.
on the track. Who's that in? It's Rhines. Hold on, I'm just going to turn this off so it's not overtaking me. Is that down at turn 16? I am not sure. Hold on. Car stop. It might be turn 9, I believe. They've put the red flag out on the track. 30 seconds to the end. That is bad. Here's a replay. Oh, that was unexpected. Just goes right into the wall. I feel like he locked up slightly, bashed into the wall because of that, and then smashed into a further wall. Hold on. That is not a good end to his FP2. So, how far was he down the order? Ryan's was 18th, so he wasn't having a good P2 anyway, though that's just the sprinkles on the cake. I don't say cherry on top because cherry's me, no. Oh, though. That is a shame for Rhines. And Joshua has just entered the box, and I'm just going to update him the fact that there was a red flag 30 seconds to the end because Rhines went into the wall. Right, so I'm going to hand you back over.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, everyone. End of the session. So, what an interesting Formula 2 we had, and the red flag coming out right at the end as well. I thank Megan for that, to make sure everything's okay. Oh, and I've just put my phone down in water coming off of her condensation. Yes, thank you, Megan. So, Frines is completely knocked off his front wheel there. As we can see, the front wing's gone, the wheel's damaged, and that's something you don't want to do a couple of hours before qualifying starts. But he's slowly on his way back. Megan will be covering qualifying in around about 90 minutes' time. As you know, is it here? No, it's not. I can't see a ring, Megan. Megan's put a ring down somewhere. She can't find out where it is. And he's crabbing now in as well, Robin Frines. Practice starts are cancelled as a result. So, the cars slowly coming in. Medical cars have gone out there as well on the circuit. Let's hear from the radio of Dennis.
I have way too much rotation, turns 1, 2, 3. I feel like braking systems are fine, it's just DMC. Yeah, I still feel like the systems pull the rear around too much at turns 1. I just need a bit of rhythm through 1, 2, 3. Like, the car's just awkward to drive.
Yeah, understood. Roman's on it.
And again, that's the high grip
Interesting.
of the track. He's just saying the rear is out, the front's on.
Dario's there. Hey, nice to have Dario back as well on the broadcast as we come through. So Cassidy, Tickton, Boemi, Verline, Dennis, Evans, Sete Camera, Lotterer, Van Dorn and Degrassi. That's your top 10 in the session. Further down, NATO 11th from DaCosta, Hughes, Muller, Rast, Bird, Gunther, Frines, Mortara, Vern in 20th, Merry and Fenestraz takes 22nd place. Well, my thanks to Megan for covering the session. My thanks to Tom Brooks and Dario Franchitti as well. My thanks to all of you at home. We'll be off now as well. When we return later on, in about 90 minutes' time, we will... 90. Megan will take you through all of qualifying for the penultimate round of the ABB FA Formula E World Championship. I implore you all now to go and have a look at what's going on in Formula 1. We've got the sprint session. It is delayed, however. So we'll see you later on. Take care. Bye-bye.